Let's open the book on this. Today in New York, lawmakers are demanding the closure of a controversial immigration detention center as protests and hunger strikes grow louder in Newark.
Hi, I'm Garrett.
And I'm Leah. Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in New York City. First up, lawmakers demand closure of Delaney Hall Detention Center amid protests. Delaney Hall is a 1,000-bed facility in Newark used by ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the federal agency that detains people during immigration proceedings. It reopened last May, and congressional Democrats held a forum at Newark City Hall about reports of substandard food, inadequate medical care, and harsh treatment. They're pushing the Dignity for Detained Immigrants Act, which aims to raise standards and phase out private detention centers, private meaning run by companies instead of the government. During an inspection visit tied to that forum, staff allegedly blocked lawmakers from talking with detainees. Oversight, basically the routine check that rules are being followed, is at the heart of this. ICE and the Department of Homeland Security deny poor conditions, but the push to close Delaney Hall fits a bigger national debate over immigration enforcement and what humane detention should look like.
Yeah, that checks out with what we've been hearing. And honestly, the alleged obstruction during an inspection is the part that stings. If your conditions are fine, let the elected officials talk to people. The political tension here is real. Democrats are leaning towards stricter standards and fewer private beds. Republicans often argue enforcement needs to stay strong and flexible. Two very different philosophies colliding in one building in Newark.
Why block the conversations at all, though? If everything's above board, wouldn't transparency help?
That's the puzzle. Maybe legal caution, maybe fear of bad optics. Either way, when transparency slips, trust slips with it. All right, let's roll on. Next up, inside the scandal. A real estate scammer allegedly keeps operating in New York City despite years of complaints. The man at the center is David Michael, who, according to victims like Adrian Heyman, took deposits for apartments that never materialized. Michael's real estate license was revoked back in 2014 after fraud complaints, but he's reportedly kept going by using Craigslist and calling himself a real estate advisor. Victims say they struggled to get deposits back, even through small claims court. The bigger takeaway, this exposes cracks in our consumer protection and real estate enforcement systems. When someone with a revoked license still finds ways to pitch listings and collect money, you've got a gap between the rules on paper and the reality on the ground.
That's so wild. Real talk, it should not be this easy to collect deposits if you're not licensed and not actually delivering apartments. Lax enforcement, meaning the rules aren't applied firmly or fast, ends up punishing regular renters who are just trying to find a home. We need clearer verification and faster penalties so people aren't left chasing refunds for months. Why is it so hard to shut down someone like this once the pattern is obvious?
Bureaucratic lag, fragmented oversight, and the speed of online postings, I'd guess. When the system moves slower than the scam wins. Let's keep it moving.
Next up, Queensway Park plan sparks division in Queens. The city plans to put $43 million into turning a long-abandoned 3.5-mile rail line into a park called Queensway. This line used to run between Ozone Park and Rego Park, serving Long Island Railroad riders to the Rockaways until it was shut down in 1962. The first phase is modest, a 0.3-mile path and about 5 acres of parkland. But the QueensLink Group, that's a transit advocacy team pushing to reactivate the tracks for subway service, argues the corridor sits in a transit desert. That means neighborhoods with long, inconvenient commutes and few rail options. The MTA, our Metropolitan Transportation Authority, estimates it would cost around $6 billion to bring the line back as a subway, and they're not prioritizing it. Supporters of the park say it's doable now. Supporters of the subway say the city is passing up a rare chance to fix a big transit gap.
Here's a thought I've been turning over. Mayor Zohran Mamdani previously backed the subway idea, and now he's funding the park. That's a curveball. Was it the $6 billion MTA estimate that turned the tide? I'm all about sustainable development, but if this corridor is one of the few straight shots we've got to connect neighborhoods, that's something to chew on, huh?
It might be, a matter of feasibility, which is just can we actually get this done with current money and permits? A small park segment is faster to build than a full rail project. The open question is whether the park blocks future rail or if designs can preserve the option. That's still disputed. Let's take a turn here.
Next up, Knicks to visit the White House after their NBA championship, and reactions are mixed. The Knicks, fresh off their first title since 1973, accepted the invitation. Team owner James Dolan, who's an ally of former President Donald Trump, announced the visit. Some players may skip, citing political differences. Meanwhile, celebrations here have been intense, and a massive ticker tape parade is right on the horizon, expected to draw huge crowds.
Sports and politics crossing paths is always, complicated. The visit is symbolic. It's a tradition for champions to meet the president, but the political climate means it won't land the same for everyone. Still, a championship after 53 years is huge for the city. That's a story worth telling, on and off the court. Last up, battle for New York State Comptroller. Tom DiNapoli, who's been comptroller since 2007, is running for a fifth term and faces two Democratic primary challengers. Drew Warshaw, a policy and finance guy advocating for more pension investment in housing, and Raj Goyal, a former Kansas lawmaker and policy advocate pushing to divest from fossil fuels. Divest means pulling investment money out of certain industries. The comptroller manages nearly a $300 billion state pension fund, which is retirement money for public workers. DiNapoli says his record is strong and steady, with support from labor and party leaders. The challengers argue the office could do more to shape housing supply and climate goals. This mirrors a larger progressive versus establishment debate in New York politics. Also notable, if elected, Goyal would be the first Asian American to win statewide office in New York.
Yeah, the pension fund isn't just numbers on a spreadsheet. It's retirements, city budgets, and real-world projects. Housing investment could, in theory, ease supply crunches, and divestment could shift climate risk, but returns and risk management still have to pencil out. That's the heartbeat of it. The progressive push is clearly shaping the conversation, even if voters lean toward steady hands. We'll see which vision New Yorkers buy into.
Thanks for tuning in to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in New York City. Have a great day, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow.